Hey, Rounduppers. What's good? What's good? How you guys doing? How are you doing, my Roundup fam? What is going down? My Rounduppers. Greetings, class. Greetings. It is your boy in live effect. Live effect. Lord, I pray that you are alive and not killing anybody at your house. All I'm going to do is pray for you, being that no doubt you're not leaving the house to do a bunch of shopping. I want my, good gracious, I want my blueberries, but I'm not going to the store. I want to go, but so today, Roundup, what I'm going to do is share with you. I'm passionate. I'm so passionate about sharing this information with you because it took me 3 years to learn this stuff, right? It took me 3 years to put all of this swirling around in my head to figure out how it works. So it is my honor to be able to bring it to you and boil it down for you so you can understand to stop buying houses in your name if you are, which I'm hoping after today you will not be. And don't beat yourself up if you don't get it on the first time, as I didn't. As my mentor, Ron LeGrand, said he had to hear it. I love it when it goes 7 times. I had to hear this 7 times. So for me, it took me 3 years. Okay, so hopefully I want to shorten that learning curve down for you. But why? Because I love you. 2, I feel like this information isn't shared throughout the general population, the people that I touch. So I'm like, listen, we can get this data here. I don't know where else you're going to learn it. I have no idea, other than the people that like the Chris Haskins of the world that are teaching this. It's only a few. Now, you can go out there and get all the leads you want, all the deals you want to do. But if you don't know how to take title in it, I don't care if you're wholesaling, subject to, I don't care if you're renovating it or you're buying and holding it. I highly recommend you not putting a house in your name or your company name. Okay. Why? I don't want people finding you. I don't want people to come after you. All right, let's do this. Greetings, class. It's Chris Haskins with the realestateroundup.com. My mission and my ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. Today, I'm going to be doing my free land trust masterclass. You can ask a million questions. What else we got going on, right? Everything's virtual. Put your questions in the box over there. And if you, I'll answer your questions first on a super chat if you want to do that. If not, we'll get to your question. I'll do them all. We'll stay here until I have to leave shortly to get started on my YouTube and internet marketing mastermind. But I'll stay here for the next hour or so to go over this stuff to make sure you understand it. I want you to get this stuff, y'all. And you ain't gonna get it. Don't beat yourself up. You ain't gonna get it the first time. You're gonna go out there and buy a house just like I did. Buy it in your name. Lord God. Oh yeah, and if you want to follow along, I'm going to go over the land trust agreement, all the documents that come in my land trust document pack. I'm giving you 50% off. Use the coupon code HOPE. Use the coupon code HOPE to get 50% off because we're in this pandemic here. I don't know how long this is going to be, right? Where's this thing at? How long is this going to be? Nobody knows, right? This coupon, where's that at? There we go. Use coupon code HOPE if you want to get 50% off all the land trust document pack. There you go. Okay. Use the coupon code HOPE. Just head on over to the link. It's actually in the video description if you want to follow along with us. Why am I teaching this roundup? First of all, I want you to know that I'm not an attorney. I'm not an accountant. Neither am I giving you any type of legal or professional advice. This is what we do when we buy houses. I'm not telling you that you need to do it my way. You can do it however way you want to. I have several colleagues that do not use land trust, but the reason I do them because I want to operate in anonymity. I don't want people to know what I'm owning. There comes a point in your life where, listen, you acquire some assets, okay? Roundup, I don't want your name on public record. Neither do I want your LLC on public record, okay? What's going to happen if I go search your LLC on the State Corporation Commission site? It's going to show me the registered agent. Then I'm going to trace it down and find out who you are to slap this judgment on you, okay? So I don't want you putting houses in your name. Neither do I want them in your LLC. And after today, you'll know how to do that. So I got some scenarios that I want to run by you very quickly to kind of share with you why I teach this stuff. And I'm not going to go over the docs yet till I go over the flow chart of how the trusts work. Why do I want you to why am I so passionate about not having stuff in your name? I got inner circle members weekly call me, and I can't help you after the fact. Okay, I can't help you after the fact. One guy, a guy is a wholesaler. All right, you may think, well, I'm just wholesaling the house, right? I don't need to put it. I don't need to make sure I have my asset protection, my estate planning or asset protection structured properly if I'm never going to buy it. Well, might I suggest to you that whoever's name is on that contract as the buyer roundup, whoever name's on that contract is the one liable for buying that house. I had a wholesaler, guy wholesales a bunch of houses in my inner circle. Guy says, Chris, he had the property in his LLC. I don't know if it was in his name or his LLC. He says, Chris, I wasn't able to find a buyer for this deal, right? Because he was wholesaling it. Can't find a buyer. What happens? Seller comes after him, tries to sue him for performance, right? Specific performance. You are supposed to close on that house. Let me give you a PSA, public service announcement roundup. Did you know that if you're wholesaling, you are actually supposed to close on it if you can't find a buyer, just backing out? I don't want you out there tying up a bunch of houses for ma and pa and then not finding a buyer and like, oh, well, it's not my problem. You know, these people are actually relying on you to buy their properties. Okay. I know for us, for you and me, it's just another house, right? We could care less. I could care less about another house. However, there are a lot of ma and pa's out there that are actually hoping that you're going to perform and buy. And when you don't find a buyer, they may get mad and try to come after you. Okay. So in the instance of having your contract in your name or your LLC's name, in that case, they may come after those entities. That's another reason why I want you to have it in the trust, because let them come after the trust. It doesn't own anything, right? Let them come after the trust. I'm going to show you how to take title, how to actually name your trust. Oh man, this is going to be so juicy today. I love it. This is actually one of my favorite topics to talk about. I got another inner circle member that had a judgment come down the pipeline, calls me up, Chris, I got this judgment. I need to get the house out of my name. How do you put this in trust? I'm like, bro, can't help you. After the judgment comes down the pipeline roundup, it's too late. It's too late. And let me tell you, it is infinitely harder to transfer a house out of your name that you already own in your name into the trust than it is to just put it in the trust when you buy it. Let me repeat it. Like I have one house. If you've watched my content, I've talked about it. I have one house left over that's in my name. I bought it back in 2007. I still need to get that house out of my name into the trust, but it is so hard. It's just hard when you're out here buying houses, putting them in trust from the beginning, than it is to go down, create all the paperwork, pay the trustee, pay the filing fee, and then get it out of your name into the trust. It's a lot harder. So just do it from the jump. I promise you it's going to be easier. Do it from the start. So what is this trust crap? What is this trust craziness? I'm so glad you asked. And if you want to support me, I think I make like 50 cents for the Barron's book. Go to my site and go to suggested reading. You can click on this book, the Barron's Real Estate Guide. This is what we use. This is kind of like our playbook for definitions. It's going to give you everything you need to understand regarding the definitions and terms. What is this trust craziness, right? Well, let's get into it. Here we go. I always miss this page. What is this craziness? Let's do this. What is a trust roundup? What is a trust? A trust is an arrangement whereby property is transferred to a trusted third party. The trusted third party in our case is going to be a trustee. He's the one that's going to sign for everything. All right. I'm going to go over my little flow chart. So just relax. I'll get to all that. Okay. An agreement whereby property is transferred to a trusted third party. The trustee holds the property for the benefit of another. We are the other. It's going to be the beneficiary. Okay. 3 parts to the trust roundup. The 3 parts to the trust. You got your trust agreement. All right, that's part 1. Your trustee and your beneficiary. 3 parts. Once again, I can already see you back in the back. Oh, Chris, it's a lot. So much to learn. Yes, it is. If you want to be a part of the wealthy, you need to learn this stuff. If you don't, do it another way. all but a few of my mentors. I only have a few mentors that don't use trusts, but these guys know what they're doing. Okay, that's the trust. So the trust you holds the property for the benefit of another. Okay. Now, what is your trustee? You guys got some good questions today. What is the trustee? Okay, the trustee, one who holds property in trust for another to secure performance of an obligation, the neutral party in a trust deed transaction. Okay. The trustee, one who holds the property in a trust for another to secure performance of an obligation. That obligation is owning the property. Okay. The neutral party, he's the neutral party. She is the neutral party in a trust deed transaction. Trustee, nothing but employee. These are the kind of words that the synonyms that I kind of use to remember this stuff. And third part, beneficiary. I remind myself, beneficiary is the one that benefits from the transaction. Benefits from the transaction. Okay. Beneficiary, according to the Barron's book, is the person who receives or is to receive the benefits resulting from certain acts. Beneficial interest is the benefit resulting from ownership position or contract. So the ownership position roundup, oops, let me take this off. The ownership position is going to be the owner of this trust. Okay. So what is the trust agreement, right? Why do we do this? What is the trust agreement? That's this bad boy right here. All it is black ink on white paper. That's all it is, roundup. It's black ink on white paper, period. 9 pages. If you want to go to sleep, Ron LeGrand says, instant cure for sleep insomnia. It'll put you to sleep. But we're going to go over it a little bit today. I'm going to touch on it, but I don't want you out there practicing law, putting this stuff together for other people, okay? So first part, our trust agreement. We're going to go over all this stuff. I highly recommend you to have it downloaded, have it ready to go over so you know how to fill yours out. And you can go down and get your house out of your name. Get this stuff out of your name. Hold tight. Send this out. Okay. How does this work? How does this stuff work? And if you're out there thinking, well, I'm not in a land trust state, all you're doing is changing the title. It's going to be a revocable grantor trust. Revocable grantor trust. That's all it is, roundup. Don't let the people, God, how many people they call me? I get these calls every day, y'all. But you don't do trust in my state, okay? Well, just tell your attorneys we're going to make it a grantor trust, a revocable trust, or grantor revocable trust. It's the same thing, okay? So don't let people tell you can't do this in your state. How does it work? How does this trust work? The house, when you buy the property, okay, here we go. Here's your house. The house goes into the trust. The house, we're deeding it into this trust. What is the name of this trust? Let me frame this up for you. When you have a purchase and sale agreement, right? Let's just say you're a homeowner. You're going to be driving around looking at a property with your realtor. Everything's warm and fuzzy. You got the property. You want to make an offer. So let's just say Chris Haskins is the buyer. So generally speaking, when you buy a property, it goes in the name of Chris Haskins or whatever your name is. Okay. So what that does is puts all the liability on you. Chris Haskins has liability from 0 to now, right? I mean, I've obviously whatever I've got out there in the universe, I'm liable for it because it's in my name. I will own this house when I'm right here. When Chris Haskins owns that house, I have the liability for that property. The good thing about trust, when the trust owns the property, then you own that trust. You actually don't own the property. Let me go over that one more time. The good thing about land trust is the house goes into the trust. You own the trust. You don't own the house. I love it. Oh man, that is powerful, isn't it? That is powerful. You own the trust. You don't own the house. That's why we put houses in the trust. Okay. You don't even own it. I remember one time I sold a property and the people tried to come after the previous owner, which was my trust. for thousands of dollars in back taxes. I'm like, shoot, we paid the taxes. These are not our taxes. They sent a couple notices to my trustee regarding those taxes. Can't remember how much it was. Sent a few notices. I completely ignored them. They went away. Sue, once you sell this trust here, round up. Once you sold the property and the trust is not in your name, it's over. There's nothing else for them to get. You can't sue them. You can't sue anybody other than who's on the title. Isn't that cool? Unless obviously they want to go hire an attorney and spend a lot of money. Usually what happens, the reason we use trust roundup is because generally speaking, it's going to cost more money for the person to come after you than it is for the money that they're suing you for. Okay, so you're operating under this veil, right? And in order for them to pierce it, they got to have a conversation with their purse. Okay, that's why we use trust. House goes in trust. You own the trust. Okay, so let me get to number 2. The trustee. I want you to think about the trustee as an employee. Okay, the trustee is an employee. How's my sound? I didn't even see the comments. My sound okay? Sorry about that. Here we go. The trustee is your employee. He works for you, so to speak. He has a fiduciary duty to operate in the best interest of this trust. So hopefully we're praying that you have a relationship with somebody, that can be your trustee. Now, this trustee can be a person or an entity. It doesn't have to be somebody you hire. It could be you could have ABC LLC as your trustee, and you could sign it on behalf of your LLC being the trustee, and then a separate one for your beneficiary. But let me I'm going to stay in this framework for a minute so I can kind of teach it to you, and then we can back up to give you different options. Okay. So generally speaking, house goes into trust. Your trustee signs all the docs. Your trustee is your employee, and he is your friend, aka business associate. Now, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Chris, I don't trust anybody to be my trustee." Well, then you need to use an entity that you control, or get better friends. Get better friends round up. Praise God, I have people in my life that I don't have to bother with. I don't have to worry about them with their integrity, their honesty, their empathy towards making money with me. And now I'm actually offering trustee services to the community. So people are emailing me trusts from all over the country. We will be your trustee if you need one. If you don't trust anybody, right? You mail it to me, FedEx. We get all the documents notarized. We send it back, and it's over. Okay. Trustee signs all the docs. So here's a typical closing looks like for me. My trustee, they send me all the docs. I verify, boom, 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 HUD. This is how much money we're getting, how much money is going there, realtor closing costs, recording fees, title fees, abstract, blah, blah, blah. The trustee goes to closing, signs everything, signs off. You wait for the check to come. You don't have to sign anything at closing. We don't go to closings. We just sold a $300,000 house the other day. I don't even go to closing. I just wait for the check to come to the title company. Roundup, excuse me, but the pollen's coming through. I have to get some water. Excuse me real quick. I'll be right back. Get your questions in if you got any, Roundup. Hit that thumbs up too. Sorry about that, Rounduppers. This pollen is killing me. Pollen's killing me. I'm doing my best. Okay, you got that circle there, right? You understand the employee. I use a person, but that's me. So you use whoever you like. Part 3. Remember, trust, the land trust or grantor revocable trust has 3 parts: trust agreement, trustee, beneficiary. Simple. And don't be like, you know what, this is easy. I got it. It's going to take some time to wrap around. All right. Who is the beneficiary? We went over that. The beneficiary, I'll read it to you again. The beneficiary is the person getting the benefit resulting from ownership in a position. Position is owning the house here, right? The person who receives or is to receive the benefits resulting in certain acts. Round up. You can see my little flowchart arrows here, right? House goes in there. Trustee does the work. Here's your flowchart. This is where the money comes in. Round up. The beneficiary is the one that gets the benefit of the sale, refinance, rents, whatever, owner finance. If you're doing a lease option, the beneficiary is going to be you or your LLC. This is where your LLC comes in for your asset protection, which I do not set up. Your attorney will help you set up your LLC. Matter of fact, I don't necessarily help you set up your land trust. You can use my docs, or you can pay an attorney. They usually charge $1,000 to set up trust. So round up. Your trust that owns this house, you are the beneficiary. See this orange line right here? No one sees you. No one sees you, round up. This trust agreement here stays in your filing cabinet in your office. Nobody ever sees it. Only person they ever see on title, that is your trustee. Okay, that's why I do not want your trustee to be a family member unless they have a different last name. All right, because as I'm going to show you one of my deeds, the deed will have your trustee on the deed. Okay. So house goes in trust, trustee signs all the stuff. They work for you. You tell them what to do. And sometimes you do have to create a document saying that the beneficiary agrees to let your trustee sign a document or something. So you're the owner. This is where the power, the benefit, but you operate in complete anonymity. It's like a cover over top of you. No one knows who owns the houses other than that one that I have to take out of my name. Round up. This is the power of land trust. The power. I don't care if you're wholesaling or buying subject to owner financing, land contract. Please, 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 on residential, put the stuff in the trust. Okay. If you got any questions on that part, make sure you put them in. We'll get to all the questions at the end of this presentation. Oh, my keynote here. My keynote. Let's do this. All right, let's go over some documents. Round up. Go ahead and bring I put the link to download the docs in this video description. We're going to go over the docs so you can see exactly how they work. Let me show this view here. This is cool stuff here. Very cool stuff. I'm so passionate about my trust. Why is that? Because I don't want your name on title. I don't want you calling me crying, oh, Chris, I got something, I had a judgment against me, right? Let's do this. I'm going to share my screen so you can see let's go over the land trust agreement. The first agreement we'll go over is going to be their land trust. This is your trust, or AKA grantor revocable trust if you're in a state that doesn't recognize land trust. It's irrelevant to me. Your attorney all they're going to do is change the names, period. Maryland doesn't even. We're doing deals in Maryland and Pennsylvania. Round up. Here you go. Here's your trust agreement. It's not, how many pages is this? 9 pages. Simple stuff. Okay. Let me see if I can make it any bigger for you. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Your land trust agreement. Here we go. Let's start, guys. This is remember, let me rewind. I'm sorry. Your land trust agreement is here. This is after you put the house into the land trust at closing when you buy it. Okay. When you buy it. I'm going to show you a copy of one of my deeds that we either bought or sold. I don't even know. So many. Okay. You at the beginning, you or your company name. I recommend you have to make that decision. I'm just letting you know what we do. I use my LLC right here, the grantors or the beneficiaries, hereinafter collectively referred to as the beneficiary, whether one or more. Sometimes when we do deals with our IRA, it might be 2 beneficiaries. If I do a deal with my wife, it'll be 2 beneficiaries, right? With the designation shall include all successors in interest of any beneficiary. That's just in case you want to sell your beneficial interest to somebody. And I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you that document with the land trust docs. Because sometimes you have to sell a land trust because the bank or whoever your seller is, won't allow you to do an assignment, right? Wholesalers, all my wholesalers out there, you have to transfer title within the trust. Sometimes the bank won't let you change the name on the contract. That's when we use land trust. Good stuff, guys. Man, I'm drooling. And your trustee, somebody you trust, round up as trustee whose address is blank. You can use your trustee's mailing address or whatever you want to do. Hereinafter, trustee shall include all successor trustees. I'm going to give you the successor trustee document. What if your trustee goes rogue and he says, you know what, Chris? You so and so, I'm going to sell that house. I'm going to take the money. So we're going to give you a document to fire the trustee too. Number 1, declaration of trust. The trust created by the grantor's herein shall be known as the blank. What's up, bro? How can I help you? I'll put those in the refrigerator.
These?
No, these drinks right here. I don't know. We'll drink it. Yeah, we'll get them. We'll drink them. Sorry, Roundup. It's everybody's out of school. Everybody's home. Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah, they are good. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to show you how we name our trusts. I just call it the 456 trust, right? I just name my trusts the street address number. Okay, that's how my trusts are. So it'll be the 437 trust. You know that it's going to spark your mind to where you know what house that trust goes to. When you get a whole bunch of houses going, you're not going to remember which ones these are. That's why you just put the street address, the number from the street address. Hereinafter referred as the trust. Okay, the purpose of the trust, round up. The purpose of this trust shall be to hold title to the trust property and to protect and conserve it until its sale or other disposition or liquidation. So this trust, all it's going to do is, all the purpose of a trust is to take title to a piece of property. There it is right here. Hold title to trust property. That's it, round up. If you can get that through your head, if you can get that concept, all it does is take title to a house, period. Nothing else. Nothing else, round up. So come along with me there. Now, we'll go over some different dispositions. Like a disposition could be owner financing. A disposition could be selling it subject to. A disposition could be selling it retail and getting cashed out by a loan, right? So there are several different dispositions, but that's up to you. It doesn't matter. The land trust doesn't care how you dispose of the property, right? Okay. Duties and interest of beneficiaries. The persons named in the attached Exhibit B are the beneficiaries of this trust, and as such shall be entitled to all earnings. I don't know why these attorneys don't like writing checks out to the beneficiaries, but it says it right there, roundup. Okay, so we are the ones that get the money. I don't care if it's rent, whatever, down payment, option consideration. What is it? Oh yeah, duties. Still under duties, right? Duties. The right to direct the trustee to convey or otherwise deal with the title to the trust property as hereinafter set out. B, the beneficiary has the right to participate in the management and control of the trust property. They have the right to, not necessarily to say that they have to. C, they have the right to receive all the proceeds and avails from the rental, sale, mortgage, or other disposition of the trust property. It's telling you right there who gets the money. All right. Number 6, powers and duties of trustee. That's going to be your guy right here. He's your employee. The trustee shall not record this agreement or the name of any of the beneficiaries in any place of public record unless ordered by court order, right? Round up. You're nowhere. You're operating as a ghost. Why, love? Just like think about your LLC, right? You have to have a registered agent. Generally speaking, there are a few states that allow you to bypass that. But I know in Virginia, we have a registered agent registered right there in Richmond at the State Corporation Commission, and most states are like that. So if they want to find out who that is, or some creditor or predator can go right there and look for it. A, the beneficiary can issue notes or bonds to secure the payment of the same. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is the trustee. Duties of the trustee. Sorry. They can issue notes or bonds and secure the payment of the same by mortgaging the whole or any part of the trust property, and they can borrow money. You got to remember this, roundup. Let me make sure you understand this. Your trustee can mortgage the whole or part of the trust property. They can borrow money. Okay. We're going to go over that. I know some of you are like, oh, snap. My trustee can borrow money on a house that I own. I don't know if I like that. The trustee should have the following powers with consent of the beneficiaries to purchase any real property for the trust, right? That's what they're going to do. When we go to closing, they're going to purchase this property for you. 2, to sell at public auction or private sale, to barter or to exchange or to dispose of the property or any part, whole of the trust property, in part or the whole. So they can sell shares. Shoot, I know my mentor, Greg Pennell, sometimes he'll sell shares in an LLC. But I don't want to get that deep on right now. Number 3, the trustee can rent or lease the whole or any part of the trust property. Okay, so your trustee, he's got some power round up. All right, your trustee has some power, so you better remember that. You better hire somebody that you trust, somebody you like. You don't want to be coming to work or dealing with people that you can't get along with. They can really get nasty. Number 7, compensation of trustee. The beneficiaries jointly and severally agree that the trustee shall receive the sum of $100 one-time fee for her services as trustee hereunder. So we pay our trustee $100. So whenever they go to closing, they get $100. Okay. You can designate whatever payment you want. You can make it $500. You can make it $50. I wouldn't necessarily want to make it $0, simply because I want it to smell and taste and have the air of a legitimate trust. The IRS sometimes, I can't wait to do these videos for you about these audits that I've been through. Sometimes when you don't get paid, they say that the person may have gotten compensated out of love, and then they'll disallow some stuff. So just pay your trustee. Liability of trustee. All obligations incurred by the trustee hereunder shall be the obligations of the trust only, and not the individual trustee. The trustee shall not be required to enter into any personal obligations or liability in dealing with the trust property. Okay, so it's the trust is acting. If he's not signing on behalf of the trust, he's acting as, here we go, not the individual trustee. So he's not acting in his personal capacity. He's acting as an employee for the trust when he signs for you. Removal of trustee. The beneficiaries shall have the power to remove a trustee from his office or appoint a successor to succeed him or her at any time. And I'm going to give you my successor trustee document so you can get rid of them. Number 10, any trustee may resign her office within 30 days with 30 days written notice to the beneficiaries. Sometimes not all relationships are going to be forever. I've learned that doing business. Some relationships are for a certain season. Okay, it's just how it is. Scroll down to number 14. Get your docs. Come along with me. Use the coupon code HOPE to get your docs. Assignment. The interest of a beneficiary or any part of that interest may be transferred only by written assignment. And I'm going to give you that. I'm going to show you how we sell our beneficial interest, right? That's how we get paid without taking the house out of this trust. Morgan, I know you're not jumping on my couch. You think we out of school, you can just do whatever you want? You think you're crazy? I'm sorry, y'all. Please forgive me. What up? Number 15, individual liability of trust. The trustee should have no individual liability. Remember, we covered that earlier. Individually, personally, or obligation whatsoever arising from his ownership as trustee of the legal title to the trust property. We don't want anything that happens in the trustee's life to bleed over to the trust. Okay, so the trustee can go out there and get into a car accident, get $1 million lawsuit. Has nothing to do with his job, right? I mean, you can't sue his job just because he got a lawsuit on his own. Number 18, governing law. This agreement and all transactions contemplated hereby shall be governed by, construed, and enforced in accordance with the laws and the state of, put whatever your state is. I'm located in Hampton, so you put whatever state. I can't. When you get these docs round up, I have to make it as generic as possible, so when people are all around the country, they can fill this stuff out and not worry about changing it. All right, here we go. name off here. Sorry about that. I'm still doing private one-on-one consults with trusts. Last page. What page is it? Page 7. Here we go. Here's our signature page roundup. Now, beneficiary. This is where you're going to put, let's just say, your OC. Nope, I'm sorry. Your name, LLC managing member, your LLC. That's right. So for me, we have, like for me, I'm not going to say the name of my company, but we put my name, managing member, or where, matter of fact, it is your name. That's right. Your name, managing member. That's going to be the managing member for your LLC. Okay. And then down here, Billy Madison, when he signs it, he's going to put comma trustee. When you sign your name, comma managing member for your LLC, put a comma there. And then your trustee comes in, good old Billy Madison, whoever you have, they sign. And this stuff is exciting. This is exciting stuff. Your trustee signs, comma trustee, because they're acting in the capacity of the trustee for this trust, right? And then page 7 is going to be the property address. I'm sorry, page 8, just put the property address and the legal description. Page 9 is going to be you or your company name. You or your LLC. Man, that was a lot. I feel like I hope I didn't lose you. Round up. Did we cover that okay? Did we cover that? Did I do okay with that one? So now you understand all this crap here. Just fill out those few lines. Read it if you get tired one day. You want to kind of see the craziness about these land trust setup. So your house is now in a trust, right? Let me show you what the deed looks like. I'll share with you a deed so you can see what they look like. Copy of my deed. Let me blow it up here for you. Get your questions in, round up, open with that. Here we go. This is what it looks like when you buy a property. So here's my deed. This deed of bargain and sale made the 25th day of September 18 by Cynthia. That was my seller. Hereinafter referred to grantor, Todd Smith, trustee of the Oak Drive. Now recently, okay, now I named this one the Oak Drive Trust. Okay. So I used to name them. Let me tell you what I was doing roundup. I was naming my trusts the street name. Now I'm just naming the street number. All right. Because I don't want to have a trail of different street names. They're going to say, I know what this guy's doing. You got to switch it up, right? Switch it up. So maybe you can do a few in the street number, do a few in the street name. It's up to you. Okay. So that's what your deed's going to look like. And that deed comes with your land trust pack. So you can kind of see what it looks like. And you can give it to your title company or attorney. If they say, well, I don't know how to title this stuff, then you can just give it to them right there. Okay. All right. The next doc we have is going to be our warranty deed to trustee. What's that? What are y'all doing? I'm sorry, roundup. These kids are crazy. So this is a warranty deed to trustee, which I'm going to give it to you, but I don't use it. Okay. I do not use this because the reason why is I want the professionals to create the deed. I want you to have this. You can give it to the professional and let them create it. This deed for good consideration made this blank. That between you're going to deed it into your trust. We use this when we already own the property. So you're the grantor, and then your trustee would be the new grantee, would be the trustee here. Oops, sorry about that. Yeah. Uh-oh. You're going to this is what we use when we already own the property. From you to your trustee, then you put the address here. Just simple stuff roundup. But don't do this on your own. Just give it to your title company. Let them create the deed, okay? You don't be out there practicing law creating the deed, okay? I'm going to ask you to not do that. Taylor, what are you doing? Y'all think because y'all out of school, y'all can do? Okay, our next document I'm going to talk to you about, land trust, is going to be, which one you want to see next? Let me show you what my contract looks like when I sell one of my houses. I'll show you a sample contract. This is cool. So here's a deal we just sold. I'll share with you what it looks like. Oh, come on. This is strange stuff. Acting crazy today. Hold tight, y'all. Let me get this document up. Make sure what it looks like. Cancel. Oh, download. So when you go sell your property, the beauty of this roundup, let me show you. What in the world? Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm sorry about that, guys. This computer acting crazy today. So here's a deal we just sold. StreamYard is sharing. Oh, here we go. Let me share my screen with you. Man, my computer is going crazy. Is that it there? Okay, so if you want to sell your house, right? So here's another one that I didn't use the street name. I didn't use the street number. I used the street name, right? So when you go, this agreement, this is a rain. We sold this on the open market, okay? Here's my two sellers. The buyer was right here. And the Kenmore Trust, that was the seller. Round up, I want you to kind of get a recurring theme here where you see that none of our stuff is held by us, right? We got trust on everything. And you can see the purchase price, all this stuff. I'm just going to share with you the front page. And you can see our trustee, he just signs it right there. Isn't this cool, y'all? So your name is never, this is the sales contract. Your name's never on record. That's why I like doing these things. So this is what your land trust packet will look like. It'll come with all this stuff. Land trust. Let's say you want to sell your, I know a lot of you guys, wholesalers, right? You want to sell or you want to do an assignment, right? So a lot of times you aren't able to sell, you can't wholesale a property. Say for instance, you're buying a bank REO and you want to wholesale that. So you have to actually sell the beneficial interest here as opposed to selling the contract because the seller is not going to allow you to take that contract out of your name. Okay, so this is so simple to do, Roundup. So simple. You just got to kind of understand the concept. So we have the standard assignment of beneficial interest addendum, right? Everything is standard in my world. Everything is standard. So this is when we're going to sell. Let's say you got somebody who wants to give you 10 grand. You want to sell this beneficial interest over to somebody else. Okay. This addendum made this date, whatever the date is, address, by in between, that's going to be the signor and the signee. Y'all know how that goes. The signor agrees to sign his rights and beneficial interest to purchase the contract to a signor for a fee of $5,000. Okay. This is how you get your money. So you're staying here. I want you to get this, y'all. Let me get back here. Round up. You're staying here because the house is already, as you're going to closing, the house is going into the trust, right? But what you can do is you can change beneficiaries. You can change these beneficiaries at any time before or after closing. Isn't that cool? So say I own all the properties we own. If I want to just assign my beneficial right over to somebody else, this still stays on title. The 1, 2, 3 trust stays on title, Roundup. Is that cool or what? So if I say I want to sell a house of mine, let's say I want to sell for $100,000, I can collect $100,000 without changing the title. What does that mean? no closing costs. Well, let's say low closing costs, right? I don't have to go to no recording fees. I do have to worry about taxes because the IRS is going to consider that a taxable event. Okay. They don't have to hire an attorney. They don't have to do all this craziness when you go to closing and you got all this closing costs on both sides. Now, the power with this roundup. So say if I got Joe over here, he wants to buy this house, which is in my trust. I say, Joe, here's 100,000. Here's your assignment of beneficial interest. Now Joe is the new owner of this trust. He can either fire or keep on the trustee. I try to beg other investors. I'm begging. I'm like, look, guys, if you're instead of doing a double closing, why don't I buy it and then just transfer the beneficial interest over to you? One thing's not going to work. Bubba, turn that foolishness down. Good God, yo. One thing's not going to work. Doing a seminar, what I learned, don't do seminars for people that aren't ready, all for free. Like we don't do free seminars to people if they're not ready to learn this stuff. So, I've sat down with dozens of investors like, look, we can do it this way. You don't have to pay any close. Well, it'll be very minimum closing costs as opposed to 3 or 4 to 5,000, right? So you got, it stays in the trust. Is that not powerful or what? Okay, so we went over the standard assignment of beneficial interest. That's how you sell your interest. Now, the last document that comes with your land trust document packet is going to be your appointment of successor trustee. Your appointment of successor trustee. Let me blow this up for you. This is when you have to fire your trustee and hire a new one, okay? The undersigned beneficiaries, that's going to be you and me, represent that they are all and 100% of the beneficiaries to that certain declaration of trust and land trust agreement dated blank, whatever date you made it, which is known as whatever 123 trust, right? Or for me, Kenmore Trust, a land trust, and thereby replace. You're going to put their name there, and appoint new trustee whose address is blank. Then it's over. Beneficiary signs it right there, comma. Benefit sometimes. I don't have a paste. Sorry about that. Oh man, that's nasty. You sign it, notarized, boom, and it's over. Notice there is no place for the trustee to sign on a replacement trustee or successor trustee document. I love it. This stuff gets me excited. This is where you're talking about wealth. Now, I know you want to do your transactions, still do your transactions and all that stuff. This is when we're moving assets around, roundup. Asset management. You can do all the transactions you want in the world. I promise you. The key to this thing, how you win the game and get your time back, asset management. This is how you manage assets. You move them around. You move the beneficiary. How do you think these wealthy dudes are doing it? You think they're going out there? How do you think Walt Disney and all these big boys, they're going to put their name on the title? They got what's going to happen when Walt Disney puts his name on title? Price is going to go up, right? That's why we buy in anonymity. You buy in anonymity. You don't want your seller to know. And not yet have I had a seller say, what's this trust thing about? What's this trust craziness? Okay. So yes, I'm taking 50 minutes of your time. Let's get to some Q&A roundup. I'm excited to be here with you. Yeah, please hit that bell. And don't forget to go ahead and download those docs. You can get all my land trust documents. The whole doc pack is 50% off. Use the coupon code HOPE. I hope that we get out of this thing. All I can give you now, roundup, to be honest with you, is hope. I'm praying and hoping that this thing gets short and that the powers that be use good judgment and discernment in treating us in this general public here, right? It's crazy. What up, Guillermo? Roundup, get your questions in. Let's do this. Oh, Bobby, we're all playing teacher, right? Roundup, get those houses out of your name. Rashandia. That's a pretty name. What do you think, Bubba? Rashandia. Oh no, it's a pretty name. Raleigh, North Carolina. Thank you for putting your state and put your city where you're chiming in from. Do I have to go to an attorney to take your trust, or can you take it directly to the courthouse? Rashandia, I think you might be mistaken. This trust never goes anywhere but to your filing cabinet, Rashandia. No one sees the trust. Why? I don't want anyone to know who the beneficiary is. Okay. Your trust agreement here, spells out who the trustee and who the beneficiary is, right? So I don't want them to see this. The only thing that goes to the courthouse, and yes, have your attorney or your title company take the deed to the courthouse. Yes, the trust stays in your filing cabinet. You better not be, oh my goodness, I'm going to come after you. I'm going to come for you. If you take that trust down to the courthouse, I'm coming for you. Do not take it down there. Do not record it. Do not record it. Let's see, where are we at? Round to get your questions in there. Okay, another one. Chris, when doing a lease option, when they get ready to purchase, can you just transfer beneficial interest to the land trust that owns the house when they get ready to purchase? Okay, you cannot do that thing we talked about right now when you do the assignment of beneficial interest. When you actually change this out and get paid, get that $100,000 I was talking to you about. Round up what Rashandi is talking about when we sell the trust without changing the title, because you can change the beneficiaries, right? If I want to sell this for $10,000, $5,000, that means the new beneficiary owns the trust, right? But generally speaking, if you're going to be getting 150, 200, 300,000, the end lease optionor, the lease optionor, hey, is going to have to get a loan, and you probably will not be able to keep it in that trust. You're going to have to transfer it to their name. Just like with that contract I sold you earlier, you're going to have to transfer that out of your trust name into the buyer's name because they're getting a loan. I haven't yet seen a conventional lender loan to a trust yet. Haven't seen that. Kenneth, hey Kenneth, can you use a land trust when using a VA or military loan? Kenneth, I have yet to see conventional lenders honor this stuff. But what you can do is buy it in your name and just transfer it to the trust. Kenneth, that's all you got to do. Simple to do. Okay. Rashandia, when having a home in a land trust, if you're doing a lease option, do you have them send the rent to the land trust? No, I send the rent comes to the beneficiary for us. If so, do you have a bank account? No, the LLC does not get a bank account. It doesn't even have a tax ID number, Rashandia. Okay. I don't want you out there trying to make the seat. Rashandia, you know I love you. Trying to make it difficult. Trying to wrap it up. Trying to make it all these moving parts. Simple. Kiss. Keep it simple. Stupid. Not you, but keep it simple. Keep it so simple, right? Trust agreement owns the house. Any money that comes in, rent, lease option consideration, refinance, when you sell it, land contract, owner finance, all that flows. All it is a pass through. You see my little flow charts here? This is where the money's coming. Right to the beneficiary. Don't forget that, okay? So your beneficiary is the one that gets the money. Lock and key buyers. I like that name. What are you doing? Roz L, do you have to get an EIN for the land trust if you are only buying one house per land trust? Absolutely not. You better not. My friend Ross, once again, y'all are trying to make it more fancy, trying to make it real sexy. My daughter calls it real fancy. Don't do it. You are going to use the EIN or the tax ID or your social security number of the beneficiary, okay? Just let it flow through. It passes right through. Remember the arrows. See where the money's going. Use a beneficiary, okay? Good question, though. Levon, what is the typical fee when transferring out of a name into a trust? It's just recording fees, Levon. You will have to pay the title company or your attorney to draft it up, which, once again, do not draft it up. Get them to draft it. Then all you have to do is pay recording fees because you are the seller and the buyer, technically. You're the buyer and the seller, right? So, yeah, you don't do any. It's very minimal, very, very minimal. But I will tell you, it's a lot of resistance. Once again, I have that one house up 13 years. I've had this house. I just haven't taken the energy to go down and change the deed over. Why? It's a lot of resistance because I don't have to. You don't necessarily have to take it out of your name, right? Lock and key. home buyers. So closing with trustee is through the mail. Is it? Yes. Is it merely the attorney sending them the documents in the mail? It can be or may not be. Like my trustee goes because we're local. But for instance, when I'm the trustee for people around the country, they FedEx me the trust documents, the closing docs. I sign them, get them notarized, poof, drop them back in the mail, scan them so they get an immediate copy. But then, yeah, you can do it all by mail. Yep, absolutely. JB, is the trustee on the deed? Absolutely. Remember, I showed you that here. I'll show it to you again. Where's the sample deed? If you weren't following, I think you were following. Here you go. I share my screen with you. Was that JB? I'll show you one of my deeds, my friend. Where is this deed at? Oh, here we go. This is a deed here. Oops. Is the trustee on the deed? Absolutely. Where is it at? Land trust. Boom. Here we go. Deed right there. So you can see Todd Smith, trustee for the Oak Drive Trust. That's how it's going to come out. Or I would prefer to have the Oak Drive Trust first. But yes, your trustee is on the deed. That's why I don't want your trustee to have the same last name, my friend. Different last names on your trustee. And I would prefer your trustee. Yeah, I mean, for long-term holds, I would prefer them to be out of state or something. But it's irrelevant. Just get somebody you know. If you don't know anybody, get some better friends. JW Properties. What is a LM? I don't know. I don't know what that is, my friend. Virtus Investment Group. Virtus. Let's go outside, y'all. Beautiful day, y'all. Yes, if you saw, yes, you can rewind the video. Virtus. We pay our trustee $100. Absolutely. Pay our one tree $100. Douglas, hey Douglas, does the trust take the tax documents or you on your taxes as you don't own it? Great question. Depending how you are holding the property. So on my rental properties, they flow through to my Schedule E. Okay, because it just flows right down through my EIN down to me because it's just the land trust is nothing but a pass through. So it's either going to flow through to your land from the house to the land trust to your tax ID to you, or from the land trust to your social security number. Either way, but yes, you do not. You take the deductions. Absolutely, you take the deductions because you are the beneficiary. And let me tell you, round up, the IRS, if you get audited, they will want to see your trust because they're going to look on the city records, right? They're going to say, who is this 123 trust? Who is this? You got to prove that you own it. So I had to turn in my trust so they can say, okay, well, the guy does own it. I got houses subject to. They're like, well, the loan, you're not getting any interest reported to your name, Mr. Haskins. Neither is the house in your name. How are you writing off this interest? And how do you even own it? But I had to show them. That's a big one, Ross. That's a big one. Oh, who asked that question? I'm sorry. Douglas, that's a big one. Sorry about that. Roz, can you DocuSign a land trust with remote trustee, or do you need blue ink? That I do not know. I'm not sure on that one because it has to be notarized. I would presume it has to have wet signatures, Roz. Will this be on YouTube? It will be for a while. It will stay up for a very short period of time, but it will not be up forever. Lock and key. What if the trustees lives in your home but has different last name? Can you advise? Trustee lives in your home, has a different last name. So your trustee, I wouldn't be mad at that. But if I search you, I'm going to say Lock and Key lives at here. I don't know about that one. I would want them to live. I guess you get a pass on that. Just get somebody outside of your home, Lock and Key. Rashandia, when you buy the home and you want to put it in your trust, do you just give them the name of the trust, or is there a doc that you give them? Rashandia, we just went over this entire land trust document here. You can download it in the video description. It's 50% off with the coupon code HOPE. This is what you're going to give them. You create the trust. Put all that information that's in that we went over and rewind this if you have to. Go over step by step. Give that trust agreement to your attorney or title company. They will create the deed for you. Okay. You can't go in there and be like, yeah, I want to trust. I want Rashandi to be the beneficiary and my trustee is Billy Smith. And then this is the address. You can't, real estate speaks through documents. You can't, no, we don't do anything verbal. We don't do anything verbal. What's wrong, bank? Golden butterfly, like what are the costs of my private consultations? Typically, right now, they're $200, but I am doing 50% off right now, 50% off only. And then that's going to last to the end of the month. It's $200, so it's half off of that. Use the coupon code HOPE. Levon, does the trust agreement get shown to the title company to prove who the trustee is? Absolutely. So you carry this trust agreement, you carry that agreement, you fill it all out, you holler at your trustee, make sure that they're on board. Give this trust agreement, the one we went over, when you have, give it to your title company, let them take it from there. Okay. I love it. You just give them, you don't even have to talk. Here's the trust. Give them the purchase and sale agreement. Or if you already own the house, just all you have to do is give them the trust and they can get rocking and rolling right there. Golden butterfly. Can your spouse or significant other be a beneficiary? Absolutely. I know some of the stuff me and my wife are beneficiaries on. Good question. I got some good ones today. Jonathan, does the declaration of trust need to be notarized and recorded? Absolutely not, my friend. We do not record this agreement. We only record the deed. Okay. And let your title company do that deed for you. We do not record the trust, but it does have to be notarized eventually. Because think about it. You have to take that trust. Sometimes you have to take it down. Say if you want to get a building permit, or if you want to perhaps get utilities on in that property, you might have to give that to a third party. The assign in the name of the trustee LLC is confusing. In the assign name, the assign in the name of trustee or LLC. Lock and key. Please don't beat yourself up. You're not going to get this one time. The good thing about the internet, as opposed to when I learned this back in 2008, there was no internet training on trust. But now you get to rewind it and see it a million times while this is up. This will be up for a few days. We do take these down. These are like just kind of bonus that I love to just put out in the universe. It just really soothes my soul. Hey, could you clarify this question? Because I think you're getting confused with the trustee and the LLC. Aisha. What up? What up? What happens if you want to get lending for the property? How does this affect getting a HELOC or a mortgage? I'm presuming you're talking about getting a loan. Good question. Say you own a property in a trust, right? Everybody eating, huh? Say you own a property in a trust. You want to go to a Wells Fargo, Bank of America, big box lender. They're going to say, we don't like this trust. What you're going to have to do is deed this trust out of the trust name into your name, get the loan, and just put it back in the trust. Simple moves to do. And if you have not bought it yet, you can buy it in your name, get it all closed out, then transfer it over. But I think you're talking about a house that you already own, okay? So if you already own it in a trust, deed it in your name. In my state, it costs $200. Do whatever you got to do with the HELOC and all that stuff. Put it back in the trust. Jamon, what up? Jamon. JB, does the trustee sign when you refinance? Absolutely. Matter of fact, I have been trustees for people. I've been sued. I've been in lawsuits. I've been a part of lawsuits because I was the trustee. See, people don't know that the trustee is only acting on behalf of the trust, just like the McDonald's cashier. You're not going to sue the cashier. Somebody falls right in the McDonald's. So they're just working for the trust. Now, yes, the cashier isn't part of the owners, or they're not on the lease or anything. But still, all your trustee is an employee. Okay, so I've been to court on behalf of people that I'm trustee. They thought they were going to sue me too. Yeah, the boy was scared. You know, I teach a lot of this stuff, right? And then sometimes I'm like, does this stuff really work? I want you to know, Roundup, that yes, I too second guess myself. Okay, you're not alone, dude. You're not alone. I've been doing this since 2004, and I still second guess myself. I went to court. I got sued as the trustee. Judge let me go. They couldn't hold me because I'm acting on behalf and in capacity for the trust. All right. The trustee will have to sign on that loan, right? And they can sell your house, Roundup. Your trustee can sell your property. So that's why you have to get somebody you trust. They can go out there, sign all the docs, and even get the check. So you got to use somebody you trust. DeAndre, so there is a separate sheet to assign your beneficial interest. Absolutely. Yep, we went over that. If you missed that, just rewind it. It's in the doc packet that you just downloaded. Okay, make sure you use the coupon code HOPE to get that. Okay, what we got here? Get your questions in, Roundup. David, questionnaire. Oh, I'm looking forward to my YouTube and Internet Marketing Masterclass. If you haven't joined up, just go to the website, go to chrishaskins.com. We'll start in about an hour. My YouTube and Internet Marketing. You're talking about some major players inside of that, Roundup. So fun. Good people. Lock and key. So can you go over the list of documents so I can see you got them all? Yeah, I guess I can. Yeah, it's right here, my friend. Land trust stuff. Make sure what you're getting. Oops. So we get the land trust. Hold tight. I gotta find it. I'm sorry. What are you getting? Land trust. This is what you're getting, my friend. Sorry about that, y'all. Lock and Key wants to see real quick. Standard assignment of beneficial interest. That's when we sell the land trust. By sample deed, you know what it looks like. Sample first page of the contract. You get my blank, one of my deeds. I'm sorry, the deed to trustee. That's when you transfer the property that you already own. Blank deed to trustee. Blank land trust is a PDF, so you can see what it looks like. And your blank land trust, you fill it out. And your appointment of successor trustee, just in case you have to fire a trustee or replace him. It happens. Sometimes it happens. You got to let people go. Lock and key. When do you use deed or warranty deed documents? All the time. Every time you're going to try to use a warranty deed, let the title company do those deeds for you. Brian Knight in a partnership, right? And don't forget your partnership could be a beneficiary too, Brian. What should I do with my partner purchasing a property and how do you get paid? Well, I remember you might have asked something like this yesterday. You can have this as the partnership, and when the money comes in, it's split. So your land trust, oh, you know what? Yeah, your beneficiary, it'll be 50% Brian Knight, 50% Chris Haskins, or 60, 40, 70, 30, whatever. You can put that on page 9 on your land trust. Or you can just say the beneficiary is a partnership, then it'll go further. So see, this stuff is layers, right? First layer, land trust. Second layer, beneficiary. That beneficiary could be your partnership, right? You could say joint venture agreement. Then you have another layer. Then you read the joint venture agreement. And that kind of will break down who the owner is. Casual wealth. I like that, brother Chris. Blessings to you too, my friend. Can you use your closing attorney on a sub-2 deal as the trustee? Yes, you can. A lot of them don't want to do it, though. I don't know why. I would. I mean, I don't know why they want it. I don't know. You can, but a lot of them won't do it. Mike, is it a good idea to move your LLC into the land trust? Move your LLC into the trust. Is it a good idea to move your LLC into? Yeah, that's above my pay grade because right now, only thing that's in the trust is the house. The LLC owns the trust, okay? Mike, house goes in the trust. See here, beneficiary LLC owns that trust. So I don't know how, I think you can do it, but I've never done that one. Golden butterfly, are you obligated to tell the beneficiary, that's me, that they are no longer the beneficiary if you decide to change the beneficiary? What? I didn't get that golden butterfly. I'm not getting that one. I think what you might be asking me, are you obligated to tell the trustee that they are no longer the trustee? Because you are the beneficiary. You aren't obligated to tell yourself anything. I don't know. Who are you supposed to name as trustee? Somebody you trust. Employee. You got to get somebody you trust. If you don't trust nobody, get better friends. If that's still a problem, use an LLC that you control. Okay. You can make this trustee an entity that you control. That way, you, in essence, are the trustee and the beneficiary. I don't want you doing that, but you can. So get your docs 50% off all my land trust docs today. Round up. Good questions, y'all. Rashandia. So what happens when you sell owner finance? Let's say you own the house free and clear and you sell your home finance. You could. The beneficial interest goes from you to a person you sell to, correct? No, that is not correct. Owner financing. Only thing that's different with a normal sale and owner financing is the person didn't get a loan. You're transferring the deed to the buyer, Rashandia. Okay. So I guess a hybrid of owner financing would be signing the deed, signing over the beneficial interest to your new buyer. But I don't know if I want to do that unless they got a big down payment. Let's say somebody gives you 30, 40,000 down. Would I sign my beneficial interest over to them? I would prefer not to, but I guess you could. But yet, no, I do not want you. The deed, you don't sign. You don't own. I don't on owner. On generally speaking, on owner financing, you assign. I'm sorry. They get the deed. It comes out of your trust into their name. Alpreneur, I like that one. Massachusetts does. Thank you. Thanks for chiming in. Does the trust need a bank account? No. A few attorneys have said the money needs to flow through the trust, then to the beneficiary, not directly to the beneficiary. Is this how you get paid? Let me tell you what happened to me last week, actually. I can't stand these attorneys. These guys. Attorneys always make it hard, don't they, round up? I sold the house last week. Attorney said, we're not going to cut the check to the beneficiary. We're going to only pay it to the trust. So we had to create an affidavit to where my title company collected the funds and converted the funds to the beneficiary. So you can do that. Matter of fact, I'm going to meet with an attorney here soon to see if I need to change the language in our trust that we have here to make sure that the beneficiaries get the money. And it's in there. It's specifically in there. But maybe I need to you know what? We all can be reminded. We can all do better, right? So I did. At this particular closing, I did talk to the buying attorney, and he told me that we could possibly change up the language. So keep the link to the download, and if we change it, if we add any language, you get those. The link will still be good. You can come back and add it on. You can come back and re-download it. Jeanette, hey, if I purchased the contract, if one purchases the contract, I'm presuming you're talking about if you're a cash buyer, somebody's wholesaling you a contract. Can you make it possible that we have continuous access to the video? If you email me, I would do that. You have to email me for that. This video will be up it will be up, not forever, but it will be up for a while. Sure, Jeanette, I don't mind doing that. Y'all know I'm on you. Everybody's in this. If you email me, I will give you the link. I meant this lock and key home buyers. I mean the assignment form when you went over the trust. Is that in the name of the trustee or the LLC? Assignment of beneficial interest is in the beneficiary's name. Yes, this goes here. The beneficiary. I don't know. Let's see. I can't even sign this. Who signed that? Chris Haskins. Let me look at that. Assignment of, yeah. So the trustee. Yeah. The trustee. You caught me up on that one, lock and key. The trustee can't change the beneficiary. No. Only the beneficiaries can transfer interest there. You can't go to the McDonald's cashier. Shoot, you crazy. We're playing on a different field right there. That's Benny. Thanks for the juice and knowledge. God bless you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's an honor. If you haven't got registered up, make sure you're registered for the YouTube and Internet Marketing Masterclass. It's going to be great. We do our meeting at 4:30 today. Golden butterfly. What's the difference between the trustee and the beneficiary? Are they interchangeable? I'm confused. Golden butterfly. If you're confused, I want you to give yourself a break. Took me 3 years to implement and deploy these strategies. 3 years, okay? Don't beat yourself up. Rewind the video. They are interchangeable. They can be interchangeable. The beneficiary is, see the money here? Beneficiary is the one that gets the money that benefits from the deal. Trustee is employee. So just rewind this one. I went over all that stuff. I don't want to go back over that one more time. RBOLVR, I don't know. RBOLVS. Okay, Chris, great class. Enjoy learning from you. Am I doing any private lending, or can I recommend a private lender? Only way I do private lending is if the person is a master. They know what they're doing. All I have to do is bring the money. Like y'all have met Ron, who we do a bunch of deals together. I bring the money. He manages the construction. We're done. You got to be a master, and it's something local. I'm not necessarily looking to do deals out of my area right now, you know. Can I recommend a private lender? No. Private lenders, can't necessarily recommend them. They come from, you have to culminate them. They come from a relationship with people that have money. You share with them what you're doing. Then they decide whether they want to deal with you or not. So private lenders are one-on-one relationships. They don't loan money for a business. You have to culminate that, and I can show you how to do that. As a matter of fact, if you who is that? RBOLVS. If you go to my site, you can get my private lender presentation. You got to have a prospectus. Round up. If you want anybody to loan you some major money, you're going to have a prospectus. That's going to be a piece of paper with some pages, right? You can flip through it. You don't want to ask people to give you any type of money just based on words. You have to have a presentation, Roundup, okay? You can, and mine is on sale. Brian, how LLC as a trustee work? Oh, that's a good one. So your trustee could be an LLC, right? So say you own ABC LLC, whatever it's called. Let's just call it that, ABC LLC. That's your LLC. And say you own another LLC called Home Buyers LLC, right? So this LLC will be the trustee. You sign as trustee. And then this LLC will be the beneficiary. You also sign as managing member, right? So you can be both of these if you want. It's a good question there, bro. Alpreneur. I think you're talking about a living trust. The living trust on your, yeah. I think so. Yeah, living trust. I don't know how to set those up. Round up. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Take a second and subscribe. Take 1 second. Hit that button. Hit the thumbs up. Share this information with other people that you think can benefit from using land trust. I pray that this sinks in, and don't be so hard on yourselves, Roundup. I'm the same way. It took me 3 years. And even when I try to teach this to even people that have a lot more than me, I try to teach this stuff like, man, are you buying houses in your name? You know, or are you even putting your LLC on public record? I just wouldn't recommend it. You know, I used to come down on people for doing it, but now I'm like, you know what, if that's what you want to do, cool. But don't call your boy after the judgment comes down and you got $1 million judgment, or as in the case of one of my inner circle members, several tens of thousands. You can't do anything after the judgment. After the judgment is here, right? It's here. Nothing you can do. So this land trust stuff, I love it. I'm passionate about it. I'll keep speaking it from the rooftops as long as God gives me breath. Take some time. Get educated. Rewind this video so you know exactly how to do it. The steps are all outlined there. And 4:30 today, don't forget, join up on our YouTube and Internet Marketing Masterclass. Everybody's at home watching the online. Everybody's at home. So be a good time to just learn a new skill, right? That's the reason I did it. And that's all I got for you, Roundup. I love you. See you soon. Subscribe, like the content. Bye, everybody.